Was that him? Wow, this looks actually like a trailer for a film, not a TV show. Ah, Carl Weathers. Cool. I'm sold already. Wow. And that background music. This gives me chills. I don't know you. Ooh. Oh man.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Werner Herzog.
Don't you agree?
Yeah. Werner Herzog. And I do agree. Wow. Fantastically awesome. The Mandalorian is an upcoming live-action Star Wars television series. The show will take place about 5 years after the events of Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and is set to air exclusively on the new Disney Plus streaming service on November 12, 2019. Jon Favreau is writing and will executive produce the series. Directors include Dave Filoni, the animation producer who has been involved with Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, the newest Star Wars Forces of Destiny, and Star Wars Resistance. Deborah Chow, Rick Famuyiwa, Bryce Dallas Howard, daughter of Ron Howard, and Taika Waititi, director of Thor Ragnarok. After the stories of Django and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We follow the lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. In Jon Favreau's words, I'm trying to evoke the aesthetics of not just the original trilogy, but the first film. Not just the first film, but the first act of the first film. What was it like on Tatooine? What was going on in the cantina? That has fascinated me since I was a child. And I love the idea of the darker, freakier side of Star Wars, the Mad Max aspect of Star Wars. The show is set to star Pedro Pascal, whom we know from Game of Thrones, Gina Carano, Nick Nolte, Giancarlo Esposito, Emily Swallow, Carl Weathers, Omid Abtahi, and Werner Herzog. There will be 8 episodes in the first season. Composer Ludwig Göransson, who composed the score for Black Panther and Creed, was announced to be composing the music for the show. A second season for The Mandalorian was reportedly ordered by Lucasfilm already. One thing George Lucas said to Jon Favreau was, "Remember, John, the real audience for all stories and all myths is the kids that are coming of age. Because, you know, George is really a Joseph Campbell adherent." Mandalore was a planet located in the Outer Rim territories. It was the home world of the Mandalorians, a fearsome and warmongering people who fought the Jedi and raided their temple during the fall of the Old Republic. Wearing distinctive armor, they were feared throughout the galaxy and had political influence over 2,000 other star systems. Ultimately, years of war left the planet inhospitable, forcing the Mandalorians to leave. A pacifist regime came to power at the end of these wars, led by Duchess Satine Kryze, while those who refused to give up their warrior ways were eventually exiled to the moon Concordia. During the Clone Wars, the new Mandalorians were overthrown by Darth Maul's Shadow Collective. Through the Galactic Empire would rule the planet after the war's end. Let's get now to some history background. The ancient Mandalorians fought in many conflicts, often against the Jedi Order. No Mandalorian prior to Tar Vizsla was accepted into the Jedi Order. During the fall of the Old Republic, these commandos raided the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, seizing the Vizsla's dark saber. Before his death, Tar Vizsla ruled all of Mandalore, and about a millennium later, the dark saber had ended up in the possession of a descendant named Pre-Vizsla, leader of the clan Vizsla and Death Watch. After centuries of war, the once beautiful surface of Mandalore was reduced to an endless desert. This unfortunate event would cause many to turn their back on violence, giving rise to the new Mandalorians, who constructed and peacefully inhabited insulated biocube cities on their ruined homeworld. The trailer works as such, engagingly and fantastically well. Every and each shot has something to tell, and that without words. Except when we hear Werner Herzog's line at the end. And no, of course, this wasn't him. Take this picture for instance. It actually represents the loneliness of a bounty hunter on the outer reaches of the galaxy. A Clint Eastwood kind of character who has a questionable moral attitude in life. And maybe we're gonna get something like a Clint Eastwood character we have seen on Sergio Leone's Western films, in which Clint Eastwood's character eventually ends up helping people, even though he doesn't see it like that. Gina Carano plays Cara Dune, a former Rebel shock trooper. Giancarlo Esposito plays Moff Gideon, an Imperial Moff who, after the fall of the Empire, was given control over his own sector of the galaxy. Carl Weathers plays Greef Karga, the leader of a bounty hunter guild, who hires the Mandalorian to track a valuable asset. Taika Waititi lends his voice to the assassin droid IG-11. Werner Herzog's character maybe will be shown as someone who hires the Mandalorian, and my feeling is that he might be a villain. A terrifically well-looking trailer with a pretty powerful and engaging music, and which manages to sell the serious content perfectly well. I just can't wait. What about you guys? Are you thrilled and engaged as well by watching the trailer? And are you looking forward to the TV show? I certainly am. I'm curious to know your take on the trailer and on your expectations. In that sense, guys, whatever you think, whatever you feel, let me know that all below. Thank you very much for watching once again. It's very much appreciated. If you like this video and its content, you just thumbs up. And of course, feel free to subscribe if you're new to this channel. Stay tuned, guys. Go beyond. See you next time. And just in case, you'd like to support the channel, consider donating on Patreon or PayPal. Now that naturally would very much make a substantial difference to me on both of my life and subsequently the quality level of the channel respectively. And
endlessly grateful I would be.
And by the way, thank you so much to all of my current Patreons.